You're an MSP managing Microsoft 365 across dozens of clients. Security gaps don't announce themselves. They turn up mid-ticket, during an incident, or on a client call that you weren't expecting. And when they do, the question isn't just, how do we fix this? It's, what else are we missing across all of our customers? I built CloudCapsule to fix the visibility problem first, real, consistent reporting across all of your tenants in one place. Being able to quickly close these gaps is the next evolution. Today, I'm going to be showing you what happens when you can act on every security gap that you see. This is CloudCapsule Manage. Manage takes everything that you can already see in CloudCapsule and gives you the tools to act on it across all of your tenants directly from within our portal. I'm going to cover 5 major features today: quick fixes, policy deployments, policy libraries, capsules, and explore. Let's go ahead and dive in. Diving in here, quick fixes are exactly what they sound like. Security wins you can take right now that are low to no end user impact. Every fix is mapped to various admin portals in Microsoft, and it's a great way to quickly elevate the secure score of the tenant. Let's go ahead and dive in now so I can show you what this looks like.
So if we're here in CloudCapsule, we have our full tenant list that we can peruse and span from to see their scores, but I can click into an individual tenant and I can actually click into this baseline section. We've got all these compliance framework mappings that a lot of you guys know out there, but I've added a new one called quick fixes, and this spans the entire Microsoft 365 suite of offerings that you see here. But down below, we've broken this down by the categories that map back to the secure score categories, as well as identity, devices, data, and apps. And in the sections below, you have the various sections of the admin portals you'll be navigating. So Intra, admin itself, Exchange, Teams, Defender, Purview. So you have a lot of depth here and get a lot of great wins right off the bat, maybe in the first 30 days of a client engagement, or just cleaning up a tenant, right? After seeing some of these things that are misaligned to best recommendations. So within here, there's a lot of great security wins. Honestly, guys, there's a ton of major security gaps by default. As a lot of you know, in Microsoft, this is the one we're going to push in here today because I think it's one of the more important ones you should do. This is allowing guest users to enumerate over directory objects. We see this in a lot of attacks where an attacker will get a guest user compromised and then enumerate through your directory to find other users to potentially compromise as well. So we want to lock that down. We can click on remediate here, and this will pull up some context for us to show us exactly what is going to change and that end user impact, just so you have that purview. We can click on apply here, and that'll actually just go push the fix into the Microsoft portal, and then we're actually going to reassess the tenant and grab that data back. So you saw how quick that was, just to evaluate and get this into a passing state. And remember, you can always click into these and see all the additional context here about why it matters, licensing, end user impact, and the remediation steps if you were to manually go take a look at this in the portal today as well. And then that evidence of what we're seeing within the tenant against your policy here too. So it's really quick to be able to get these wins and increase the secure score very fast within a tenant. If you ever did need to revert back, you can also do that straight from our portal for all of these quick wins as well too. So very much something that's aligned very fast into all the changes that you would make as part of this.
While quick fixes handle immediate wins, for deeper configuration work like conditional access policies or Intune configuration profiles, you really need tooling that helps you deploy policies at scale, but also handles for any client uniqueness or deviations into your baselines. If you ask 2 technicians in your organization to push the same policies or onboard a client, in most cases, you're going to get 2 different results as far as how those are configured within their tenant. So we want to solve with this with policy deployments, which gives you a library of over 100 pre-built controls here so that you get consistency in the policies that you're deploying to your downstream tenants. Let's pop back into the portal so you can see that firsthand.
So for policy deployments, I'm going to show you this in 2 different locations. The first of which I think is going to be the most popular. If I click into a tenant, go back to that baseline section, a lot of what we want to do is show you how to fix things in context and then see everything fixed, just like we did on the quick fixes. I'm going to click into this foundations benchmark though for V6. And this is one of our more popular baselines, but you can see here, we already do this evaluation, which is assessing the tenant, pulling in evidence, checking all the controls. And now we're just giving you the fix it button here on the right-hand side. And this will then deploy these policies to these tenants as well. So let me look for a specific conditional access policy so I can show you how to push that into a tenant. So this policy is called Ensure Managed Devices Required to Register Security Information. This is super helpful when you have a potential breach and a bad actor will register their own MFA method as an example to maintain persistence. So within here, we can actually just click remediate, and you'll notice here we already have this policy tethered. We have over 100 of these tethered to various compliance policies or configuration profiles you guys can just use from us as best practice. And I'll show you how to customize that as we move forward in this video. But within here, you can see all of the actions that we're going to take. So you can see the conditions here. We're including all platforms, but we're excluding Android and iOS. We're going to use these grant controls for one of the following. So everything that you would normally see in the conditional access policy within the Entra Admin Center that you have here. But you can also see within here that we have our assignments, and we're making some intelligent recommendations for you here, which is that we've automatically added your break glass user as part of this that you've defined within CloudCapsule, so you can add it back if it's not already there. But we do add it by default to these policies just to make sure you don't lock yourself out. And then if you are in a hybrid environment, we might also recommend to exclude a certain role like the on-premise directory role for breaking changes that might occur too. So less likely in this particular case, but this is something obviously that you can do as part of other policies that could break this account. So we're doing everything we can here to make sure that your policies are really healthy when you go to deploy them. And then I can go ahead and click on deploy. This is going to show me this is the changes I'm making to the basic default policy that we have. And then I can go deploy that. And this is going to then push into the downstream environment. And you can see the progress as it's going here. It's really quick, just like the rest of our assessment. And you'll see the successful deployment. And then we're actually going to refetch the data set. So in this case, we deployed it disabled by default, but you can actually go ahead and actually push it here into an enabled state. And then this will set the value to enabled in the Entra portal. Now that that's deployed and we've got it, we've seen this change into a passing state now once that data set comes back with the fresh information from the Microsoft portal. Now, the other location that you guys can manage this is actually in our library section. We'll get into Capsules here in a minute, but you do have the ability here to view our entire global library of policies, and you can actually fork them and modify the names, things like that, that you might want to use to deploy to your downstream clients. The device code flow is a good example here that we normally would push out as part of a default baseline to all of our customers. And the cool part is you can actually associate any of these controls or these policies to any one of our baselines. So it does allow you to tether them, so that way when you're going to deploy them, you can choose the specific policy that you would want to push as part of that. And this is also where you can deploy this policy into one of your downstream tenants right from this location as well.
Now, some of you out there might be thinking, well, Nick, I have my own policies. I've spent a lot of time curating, and I'd love to see if they're in my downstream tenants, but also deploy those out to any of my downstream customers. And I might have some policies that you don't actually have in your library. Well, the good news is we've actually solved for that as well too here by giving you the ability to import any policy that you have in any one of your downstream tenants and pull it in as a template that you can then redeploy back downstream, create deviations where you need it for client uniqueness. So let's go ahead and dive back into the portal so you can see that firsthand as well.
So to import policies, you'll be back here in the library section. You might have this list of policies that you forked over from the global library, but you're able to import a policy over here to the right. From here, I'll see a list of my tenants I could import from, and I can click into one of my downstream tenants. In this case, might say, hey, T-minus has a lot of policies I'd use as templates to push downstream. And so this will list out all of your policies within that tenant, and you can see the ones I've already imported here. I can select one to many or all policies to import at one time. So there's a bulk ingestion that you can do if you really wanted to. Do the same thing here with configuration profiles as an example. Maybe there's a particular policy I want to key in on. In this case, I want to choose this passkey policy that I have to start to implement passkeys in my downstream customers. You guys can add any tags here for logical organization, as well as any search capabilities you might want to have here too to find it quickly. Well, I'll go ahead and click on save. And this is going to go ahead and fetch the policy, but strip the tenant specific values. And so this is allowing you to use it as a template. But what we do is we actually remember any naming conventions you're using for your inclusions or exclusions as an example here. So you can see in this case, we recognize there was a security group called emergency access as part of the exclusions. And the importance of this is we'll actually try to find that in your downstream tenant that you deploy it to automatically assign, allowing you to standardize your naming conventions across customers and to speed up your deployments as part of this too. So you notice you've got this kind of overview section of what this policy is and what it's doing, as well as that end user impact consideration here. So I can go actually push this into a downstream tenant. And when I do, it's going to try to find that group. And in this case, it did find that this tenant has emergency access as a group. If it didn't, it wouldn't be able to assign anything here, but you can still go in and actually assign those users here you want as part of the inclusions and exclusions here. Additionally, if you go back here, I can, again, associate any of my custom baselines or custom policies to any one of the baselines that we have across CIS, NIST, any one of those frameworks that you saw earlier part of this video.
Now, while individual policies are powerful, creating both tons of time savings and being able to clone and redeploy, as well as creating consistency in our configuration, in most of our client environments, we're often trying to deliver these business outcomes. This might be related to some workload activation that we're trying to do, like getting them enrolled in Defender for Business or getting them enrolled into Intune as an example. But it could also be part of a project that you're doing here, like increasing the security of the tenant by deploying the CIS Intune benchmark across the endpoints that are managed today as well. In a lot of these cases, we're bundling a bunch of policies together, and we have to do those in maybe a staged approach because of the end user impact considerations. And that bundle is something that we call capsules in our platform. So let me take you back into the portal to show you how these work.
So capsules, again, represent this pre-bundled list of policies that you guys can use to push out. If I click into something like Defender for Business, right, maybe I want to activate that workload across multiple customers. You can see the list of configuration profiles, in this case from Intune, that I'd want to push out as part of that. And I've already got this one in my library, but you can add it as part of this. And so the main thing within here is you can go ahead and assign tenants that you have within your ecosystem to be part of this bundle. So maybe I click on T- here to add them as part of this. But additionally, as you can see here in this view, I can see exactly which policies are added, which ones are pushed out but not assigned, and which ones are still yet to be deployed. So it's really helpful to be able to see this context and click it into one tenant here, and I can see exactly which policies have been deployed. So this is, again, helpful when you need to stage these as part of a deployment, and also helpful here to understand the status and multi-tenant view of where these policies stand across this package. So it's really powerful in that sense. And we also, as you could see here, give you some context about break glass users, just in case you want to go ahead and assign those within here. And this is more helpful on capsules that relate back to conditional access policies, right, as an example. So you can actually create your own capsule, and you could say maybe this is conditional access essentials. This is one we've actually created, but you can add descriptions, you can add tags, and then from within here, you can actually associate any one of these policies. So I might say, hey, I want to do device code flow as part of this. I might want to do geo-blocking as part of this. And you can go on with the number of policies you have within here. But then you can go in and assign those tenants as well. And so this allows you to, automatically visualize. In this case, I have the status already coming through from policies we've already deployed. Now this one is just in that disabled state. So this would be where it's helpful, where we could automatically add those break glass users as part of this too. So I might want to say this guy's one I want as a break glass user that would be automatically added to these policies.
We started this video by talking about finding gaps across your client tenants that you didn't know existed. And really this comes down to how can I make sure that my clients are standardized at scale, even if changes happen over time. This is where Explore comes into view here, that we created to give you this bird's eye view across all of your tenants and all the policies that you're deploying today.
So to show you guys this Explore view here, it's this individual tab, and you can see all of your customers horizontally that you add into the service, along with all of the baseline controls to see exactly who's passing and who's failing against those controls. So if I look at something common that you normally look at, like non-admin users being able to register for applications as an example, I can see exactly who's passing and failing that across my customer base. And if I click into any one of these, I can actually see the historic view of when this might have changed in status. So we're tracking the timeline here, and then I can see on this date, January 20th, is when we move from a passing state to a failing state for this particular control. So we have natural drift reporting that's baked into this as well. And the same thing with all our metrics that we track within here too. So if you want to say, I want to see all my users without MFA across my customers, you can see that in a single view, and I can actually click in to see the individual users, and I can click the history button here to actually see the distribution and change over time. So back in November, we had 7 users, and then we moved to 0, and then this upticked again here. Now it's back up to 5 as part of this. So you can see the side-by-side views here, and then the change and distribution and change since that point in time as well too.
Managing Microsoft 365 security across your clients should feel like you're in control, not like you're one misconfiguration away from a surprise. CloudCapsule Manage is how you get there. We're so excited to share these new features with you guys. Use promo code CAPSULE26 this month to double the managed seats included in your subscription. And thank you to the hundreds of partners we have doing business with us today and providing us amazing feedback to make this launch a huge success. Anyone already on a premium subscription automatically has been included in this promotion. Thanks guys, I'll see you in the next one.